Hi everybody, this is Harry Jacobs and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome to today's fun game that I am looking to show you, and that is the Phantom, the card game. But first, a little bit about the Phantom. The Phantom is a fictional costume crime fighter who operated out of the fictional country Bengia. The character was created by Lee Falk for the adventure comic strip The Phantom, which debuted in a newspaper on February 17th, 1936. Over the years, the Phantom has not only been depicted in the Pulp Fiction and comics, but he's been in television shows, movies, and in video games. Now, it is going to be a board game. So let's get down to the table, take a look at the Phantom. This was one of my favorite superheroes. Billy Kane played him in the movie back in the 90s. So let's get started.
The Phantom's origin story began in the 1500s with Christopher Standish, the former protege of Christopher Columbus and later a captain in his own right. His commerce vessel was attacked by pirates of the Sang Brotherhood, killing Standish and his entire crew, with only his son Kit surviving. Kit was washed ashore on the coast of Bengala, where he was helped by the Bandar tribe. The Bandar themselves were subjugated by the rival Wasaka tribe. Seeing a resemblance between himself and an idol of the feared Wasaka deity, Kit made and donned a costume that made him look like the idol had come to life, and preyed on the Wasaka superstitions in order to free the Bandar from the Wasaka rule. Kit stayed with the Bandar, and on the skull of his father's murderer, he swore the oath that he would devote his life to fight piracy in all its forms, and that his sons would follow him. The tradition would go on from father to son in an unbroken link. Yet only the Bandar and a select few would know this secret. Outwardly, it would look like the same man, a man who could not die.
So before we start digging into the game itself, you can see it here, the Phantom, the card game. I want to first thank Mikkel Lick for trusting me with this game, and hopefully I will do this justice for him. We are going to unbox it. We are going to look at the components. We're going to store it, set it up, play it, and all the usual things that I like to do. I am so excited because I loved the Phantom, mainly because I'm old and maybe remember some of the Pulp Fiction around the Phantom. So let's get this unboxed. It is a 1 to 2 player game. So let's just turn it around so you can see the back. And sorry for the shininess. As you know, my lights bounce off the ceiling, so we get a little shininess. This is a 1 to 2 player game, 30 to 60 minutes, and ages 14 and up. So let's take a look at what's in the box. So let's get it open, eh? I hope you're as excited as I am to open this box. I don't really get a lot of publishers sending me games, and I feel like I won the lottery here. So thanks, Mikkel. I really appreciate this, and Jazz over at Everything Board Games who made this possible. So thank you, both of you, for just making me happy. Oh gosh, I'm like a kid in a candy store. So we're going to open the box. There are the rules. Over the top, typical rules. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, we're right into it. Okay. So we're going to have to read the rules, of course. Looks like a small setup, small footprint games. I always love small footprint games because I am looking for games that I can take with me when I travel. And this box isn't very big. It's a standard 12 by 12 box. We have, looks like we have a board. Oh, it must be a deck holder of some sort. You can see this, just make out the different bits and pieces of it. I am not going to put that together here, but I certainly will show it to you once we get this down on the board and set up. We look like we have 2 player mats. You can play, obviously you can play Diana or the 21st Phantom. Wow, that seems to think that there were 20 before that. And oh, I can see that the player boards just fell out, and then you can see tokens. Look, I have no idea what some of these tokens do. I did watch a video, so they are resources that you will use. The game mechanic is interesting because you will discard cards for these resources. You can save up to 6 of these resources on your board, and then use them later to play cards in your hand. Oh, it looks like we have some sort of, perhaps some promo cards. Well, that's exciting. We have a little bag. Don't know what that's used for yet. Sometimes you just get bags. And of course we have a bunch of decks. Now I'm not going to open these decks right at the moment because, as you know, I will sleeve them and play them. So we're going to be sleeving these up right away, and then I will show you the components and the sleeving and the setup. But that is the unboxing as it stands right at the moment. And we're going to get down and we're going to set this up, get it sleeved. Actually, we're going to do it in the opposite order. We're going to get it sleeved, then set it up, and then we're going to play it for you as a solo endeavor. I am super stoked. So I have the Phantom, the card game, all organized. So as I like to show you is how I've stored it, just to give you an idea of how it fits in the box and how I organized it. So it was pretty easy. Anyway, the first thing I want to do show you is this nifty, neat little deck holder, which is falling apart in my hands. I'm going to have to put a little glue on there. But when you're playing, you can certainly use that as a deck holder. Just a little glue on this will just make it a little more sturdier. But that's pretty neat. That's kind of a bonus. There's no room in the box for it unless I put it together and pull it apart every time I play. I think I'm just going to use it with other games as well. It's pretty neat. I really do appreciate the little extra effort for a little bit of a novelty item in the box. Now we're going to pop the lid open. This isn't going to take long. It might take long if I can't pop the lid open. There we go. Again, the rules on top. Perfect. I like the rules. Just to point out on the back, you can see the player icon guide right on the back, which is always appreciated. You know, because sometimes it's wasted space if they just leave it blank. Great job. The Phantom bag, I have yet to see what the randomness of this is at this point. Nothing in the rules or any of the videos I looked at, but it's a cute bag. I like it. Can always be repurposed. We have our 2 player boards, of course. We have the Phantom himself, the 21st Phantom, and we have Diana. And you can play this either solo with one of the 2 characters or both characters. Easy to do in a solo game. All you do is just play with one and just take your turn. In a cooperative game, you just alternate turns. So it would be the Phantom, then Diana, and then Phantom, then Diana. And you would take a normal turn. You can see now I have, at this point, I haven't taken out the divider. But you can see each of the stories are individually bagged and in order. I will say there's some weirdness in the order of the stories. Some of the cards they're not totally out of order. What I would say is it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 8, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 13, 16, 15, that kind of numbering. So I had to go through and actually put all the cards back in order. Not a big deal. All the cards are numbered. So once you play through this, you can put it back together and play on a harder mode. Each deck offers a sort of easy, normal, hero, and mythic level. So you can play through a couple of times. Here are the 2 player decks. We have Diana and the Phantom. We have, I believe, some promo decks and some decks that say K on it. And I'm not quite sure what the K means. I haven't sort of figured that one out. We'll get around to that. And then, of course, we have our wound tokens, or the bigger wound tokens, which are 3. And on the other side is, if you see the white side, that's clues. Mechanics in this game. Certainly, you play cards for the resources, and then you play the resources to play your cards. So you've got a turn or two where you have to start to build up. Meanwhile, you're fending off the bad guys, trying to get the clues you need to resolve the play. And we'll show you that when we play the game. But that is it. That was how I organized it. These are geek boxes. They're available at stores, and I do like them. I used to print storage solutions, but to tell you the truth, the 12-hour print for one single box, I could go out and buy a geek box for $1. And that is all that's in the box that's stored for now. And I will put it all back together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up on my table, and then we're going to have a playthrough. So we'll see you at the table in a moment. Now, this game set up in about 2 minutes. Here we have the year 1 cards. So this is going to be the quest or adventure that the Phantom is going on. I have set up my Phantom board. These are the wound cards. These are his deck. And this is a deck builder of sorts. The cards will be narrative throughout there. We will be playing various cards. We'll be trying to defeat enemies and fulfilling the quests throughout, trying to get to the end without being killed. And there's a number of ways of being killed, and certainly we're going to discuss that as we go through, because we're going to be seeing wounds coming out. And these are our tokens and our various resource tokens. These are our wound tokens and clue tokens if we need more. No, I don't think we need much more than that. But that is the entire setup of this game. I really appreciate that as a solo player, that I can set up a game really, really quickly and get into it super quick. You can see that these cards are sleeved, or if you can't, they do fit in this barely. I tried to use this yesterday for Terraforming Mars, but it just couldn't hold the amount. Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition couldn't hold that amount of cards. But this works very nicely. And it's kind of neat looking. Looks like a skull or a throne. Actually, I think it's a throne. I'm not too sure. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the top card off the deck, and this is going to set our adventure up. And it says, "The Phantom is dead. Long live the Phantom." A short time after taking over as the Phantom, the jungle drums bear messages of slavers collecting native girls in the jungle. You hurry towards your destination. Place Reading the Oath 2 to 3 on your discard pile. So we have Reading the Oath. So we're going to add them to our discard pile. So this is a sort of a deck builder. As we go along, we're going to add cards. We are going to next take cards 4 through 10, and that's going to do our Destiny deck. And that is 4 through 10. Yeah, and we're going to shuffle them up. Do we shuffle them up? Shuffle cards 4 to 10. Yes, it does say that. So we're going to... And this becomes our Destiny deck. Oh, I am scared because I don't know what our Destiny is going to be. We'll just move this out of the way. Then we have to decide on what mode we're actually going to play on. I'm just going to put these cards right up there where you can see that. So the next bit is to place your Part 111 as the active mission. So there is the Part 1. And it can say we can play on easy, normal mode, or we turn it over and play on the heroic mythic part. And I'm thinking that we are going to actually play on the easier level, only because I've never played this before. This is the first time I'm playing it, so you are learning it right along as I am learning it. This says, Year 1, Part 1. If you need to reveal a Destiny card and there are no cards in the Destiny deck, immediately read 2A. If you are dealt damage, instead of taking an injury card, immediately read 2B. Oof, there we go. And that sets up the first of our adventure. And you can see 2B is sitting right on the top there. And I don't know what that is, so we're going to be surprised together. Okay, we are ready to go. We have our tokens ready. We are going to start through the phases. The first is recovery phase. We don't have any cards already, nor do we have any injuries to heal. So we are going to go into our Destiny phase. And so we are just going to shuffle our Destiny cards really quick here. Oops. Does it say shuffle? Place reading. Shuffle cards 4 through 10. Yep. So let's shuffle. Put them down. Now we're going to take our Destiny. That's the Immediately reveal 3 Destiny cards. These 3 cards do not trigger reveal card effects this turn. So we're going to reveal 3 Destiny cards right off the bat. We have a Slave Captor. We have a Troubling Memory. All of your cards are ready, so we don't have to worry about that. And we have Jake. That is an event. We don't have any ready cards. Card effects this turn. So there are no card effects this turn, except for that. So I don't know whether that is a trigger for next turn. So I'm going to assume, by the rules, that I place them down and it's not going to trigger till the next turn, till it plays. Let's play that way. Preparation phase. 1, 2, and 3. 2 Mbugu Warriors, which I can't play. So we take it for the mask. Let's just take a mask. That is our first mask. We're going to peek at the top card of the, let's go with the injury deck, and it is a flesh wound. So we know that we can take a wound. We're going to take a couple of wounds, so this could be a very quick game. Anyway, and we can take a resource, which is a skull. So off we go into the, and then we have a Mbugu Warrior. So we're just going to take that. So we're going to take the resource, I should say. Now I should have spent a resource for our message from the drums. So we spent a resource to trigger the action. And that is the end of our turn. This is, now we can do a battle. We only have the one, so we're going to take a skull to initiate the combat. That gives us a base of 1. We're going to draw this card, and this is our Colt. That gives us 3 skulls. This is a lucky draw. So we actually get 4 hits, which is enough to kill our slaver, and enough to do 1 damage on our slave captor. And now we are at the end. This is the fate phase, so we are actually going to take a wound, which we know is a flesh wound. We only can take up to 7 wounds. We are now down to the cleanup phase. Nothing to really clean up here. We've taken our first wound, actually. So we actually have our flesh wound. There we go. There we are. And we've taken our flesh wound. But we're not going to take the flesh wound. What we're going to do is trigger this card, which says, if you are dealt damage, instead of taking an injury, immediately go to 2B. So we're going to go to 2B. So we're not taking that flesh wound. We're going to go to 2B. So we're going to skip 2A, which hopefully were a couple of cool things. But what's 2B say? 2B says, saved in the nick of time. Thunder jumps in and saves you from any critical damage. Worried that the task is too great, you start second-guessing yourself. While you're looking for slavers, you encounter a warrior who is determined to take down the slave traders, and he joins you. So we're going to place 2 Mbuktu warriors, 16 or 17, that are going to go here. We are going to add cards 18 and 19 to our Destiny deck. It doesn't say shuffle. So you know what? I'm going to take it that they're just going to go on the bottom. And then we're going to go to 2. 2 says, shuffle cards 21 to 36, keyword jungle cards, 14 through 20, and the Destiny cards on the Destiny row into a deck. Oh, shuffle cards 21 to 36, 14 to 20, and the Destiny cards in the Destiny row into a Destiny deck. Place the slave camp 37, 38 on the Destiny row. We place the active mission. Okay. What happened to our active mission? That's there. There we go. So we are going to take all these cards. Okay. Wow. That was very fast. We have a ton of Destiny cards. You might hear some drama behind me with the dogs. We have a puppy out there. So we are going to put our slave camp down on the, we should go over it on the normal level, but we're going to go on the easy level. So there's our objective, the slave camp, and it says all of these get +1 now. We have to tap an ally or spend a skull at a destruction. If there are 5 or more destructions, we will destroy the slave camp. And then we are going to play our slave camp objective on the easy level. And then it says, if a slave camp is destroyed and Wozniak is in the resolve pile, we immediately read 3A. If the slave card is destroyed and Wozniak is not in the resolve pile, immediately read 3B. If you need to draw a destiny card and there are no destiny cards in the deck, immediately draw 4. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on, but we have to take care of that first. So, whew, we got a wound. It is the cleanup phase. We're back to the recovery phase. There is nothing to recover at this point. We are now back to the destiny phase, and we pick up, discard any ally. We do not have any allies, so we've got away pretty lucky. We will now go to our preparation phase. Let's take a look at what we have. We have a Colt. Not going to help us. Choose any ongoing event and destiny roll. Okay, this shelter is not going to help us because we do not have an ongoing event. So we're just going to bail it for the resource. There it is. We don't have enough skulls for a Colt 45, so we are going to take the skull so we can initiate a combat. Our slaver is a +1, so he's 4 to get rid of. And then we have our sword. Peek at the top deck. So I am going to use a resource to peek at a top deck. So I know, let's take a look at this because we know that's a flesh wound and we shouldn't know. So let's pretend we didn't know it was a flesh wound. We know it's a flesh wound. I'm going to take another skull well, I have a skull. Skulls seem to be hard to get, so let's just grab a skull. Okay, we'll put that into our deck. Whew. That is our turn, except now we can initiate combat. Well, we'll take our skull, which is 1. Turn on top over if we have a skull or a diamond, which we do. So we're going to do 2 damage to our captor. So he's at 3, but as you know, because of this, he's at +1. That is the end of our turn. Fate says, pew! This card is gone because we can't really resolve it. It's an event. So we are going to flip over our destiny card. And it's another slave captor. That is bad for us. We have to do a preparation phase. 1, 2, 3. We have no allies in here. We have no ongoing event, as you know. So this card does us absolutely no good. So that goes into our pile. I don't really need that. So I am going to play a resource, discard this card to take another card. Yeah, the very thing I need is there. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to take the resource. And then I'm going to take the resource here also. For these 2 cards, I am going to fire a weapon or punch him. Spend the skull. Let's hope there's a skull. There is no skull. He takes 1 damage, but he is dead. We are down to our single slave captor. It is the Fate. We are going to have to take another flesh wound. Whew. But the good news is we're in our recovery phase. We can get rid of our flesh wounds just like that because we don't have anything to ready. It is the destiny phase. A slave girl. We can't attack while slave girls are in the destiny row, partly because we don't want to hit them. We will now take our 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh. We have 1 of these. Eh? Wow, we don't have a card that we can get rid of this. So I need 2 crossed swords, which I don't have. And I have no way of getting it. Well, I can. Okay, I'm going to spend the resource to discard this card. And I'm going to pick up this card. And there's our crossed sword. I'd love to have this ally, but I need this crossed sword so that I can take the 2 crossed swords and get rid of our slave girl. But I have no skulls at this point, so I'm going to play 2 masks. And the rule is 3 wild to make a skull, so I am going to make a skull. Initiate a combat. So we have 1. Now we're going to have to, and he has 5. So far he's got 1. And he has 5. Oh, we don't have any allies yet. Whew, we're not doing very well here. Let's hope for the Colt. We have a diamond. That's a wild. At least we do 2 damage to him. We are into our fate. He's going to attack us. A leg injury. Your maximum hand size is decreased by 1 for leg injuries. Fortunately for us, we are in the recovery phase, so we can get rid of our leg injury. We are into our destiny phase. We have a truck. We can spend the skull, grab a destiny card, and place X tokens on the slave camp, and then get rid of this card. Okay. So let's get our preparation. We don't have our leg injury, so we're going to grab 1, 2, 3. Our 2 Colt 45s. Well, at least we can have a skull, because that means we can have an attack. We can't put our Colt 45 out, but we'll grab the other skull. I like to hang on to our... The first thing we're going to do is actually trigger this. Then we are going to grab the first destiny card and put it over here, because the little purple symbol, as far as I can tell, says reveal a destiny card. So we're going to reveal the destiny card and a card here. And you can see we have 2 symbols. Place X destruction tokens on a slave camp, and that's a wild token. So that's anyone. So we're going to put 2 destruction tokens. And we'll use that on our camp. I believe that's the way it's going. So let's just continue on. We have another skull. So we're going to try to take care of that slaver. He has a 5. Both our colts are gone, so we need a diamond or a skull. We have a diamond. Going to take 2 more hits. It still doesn't kill him. We have no allies in play. We have our last card, which is another skull that we can play. Now, I have been playing, because I did not read in the rules that you can't initiate combat more than once, so I don't see why we couldn't shoot another bullet. Thematically, it is not, so he only gets 1, which takes care of this guy. This truck is now removed from the game, I believe, and removed from the game. We will pull up. We have the 1 slaver. Oh, my sleeves are being bad. Bad sleeves. Who is now into the fate. We played that for the skull. We don't have him out. He's going to wound us, of course. And it is a flesh wound. Oh, oof, not so bad. We are back to our recovery phase. Goodbye, wound. We don't have any allies. We are into the destiny phase. It is a interference is showing. Skip the preparation phase. Oh, that's like saying go to wound phase. Preparation phase, adventure phase. I got nothing. So we'll go right to the wound phase. Oh, there we are. Leg injury. Cleanup phase. Fortunately for us, our recovery phase. Oh, we've been playing him, the slave captor. He brings the slave girl back, actually. So he doesn't wound. Sorry, he doesn't wound us. So we'll put our leg injury back, because he just brings the slave girl back. Instead of dealing damage, this card places a slave girl that has been returned to the box on the destiny row. So there, that guy does not wound us. That's how I've been playing it before. That's how we'll play it now. Now I am going to draw... I still had to do the destiny phase, which is skip the preparation. So I have nothing. This is removed from the game. So we're back to the top. There's nothing here to do. Just to pull another destiny card, which is a truck. I think there's 2 trucks. We will now pull our 3 preparation. 1, 2, and 3. We have a skull. So we're going to take our skull. I think what we're going to do is trigger. I can't attack him directly. I need 2 crosses to get rid of her, or an ally, which I don't have. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 masks here. I'm going to take my skull to trigger the truck. So I'm going to pull the first card. It has 2 plays X tokens. So we've driven our truck twice through the slave camp. Maybe I backed over it. I don't know. This card is gone. Our slave would bring another slave girl, but I don't believe I have another slave girl. I do not. So he'd just stay there, and he says, I'm just keeping those slave girls, and you can't hit me. We're back to the recover phase. I have nothing to recover for. We're destiny phase. Nothing good is going to happen. We have Rozak. He has 5 hearts. Oh, jeez. This is not going to be good for us because I can't attack him because of the slave girl. I have no allies to get rid of the slave girls, and I don't have those 2 symbols to get rid of the slave girls. Wow, this could be a very short game, folks. Very, very short game. But this is only my first time through. Well, actually, it's about my 4th time through. But let's go. 1, destiny phase. 2, 3. What do we got here? We have... Can we get an ally down? We don't have any allies. Oh my. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend this resource to play the jungle drums. We're going to peek at a top card, and it is a leg injury, so we know what's coming up. We can take a skull. Well, actually, we're going to take the that, and I'll show you why I'm going to take this cross souls, because I'm going to play this to discard. Choose one enemy on the destiny row. No other enemy can attack this turn. So I'm going to choose him. He can't attack. And then I'm going to play this resource. No, I think what I'm going to do is leave that resource and grab another one. We do not have another slave girl to bring back. Rozak can't attack this turn, so our fate is good. We are the cleanup phase. He's over here. So he's going to turn back up, though. That only lasts a turn. We are going to grab our recovery phase, which we don't really need. And we're going to bring out another slave girl. Oh, this is just getting harder and harder. We are into our preparation phase. 1, 2, and 3. We can't even put an ally down. Oh, my. So I'm going to play that for the resource. I'm going to pay that for the resource. Spend these 3 to get a skull. Not that we can attack. And then we are going to take that resource. We don't have a ongoing effect. That is the fate phase. We don't have a slave girl, but we do have this guy who is going to wound us. Pow. That is the end of the turn, because I can't attack anybody till I can get rid of some of these slave girls. I have a leg injury. We are into the recovery phase, so we can actually get rid of our card. We are into the destiny phase. We have skipped the preparation phase. Wow. Isn't that wonderful? So we do not get a preparation phase here. So I cannot draw cards. I can't attack. So the only thing I can do at this point is I'm going to spend the skull to resolve this. To use up that. So I have 5 now. So we're going to destroy our slave camp. Yay! We're going to come over here and says if the slave camp is destroyed, Wozniak is not, but he is. So we have to go to 3A. So there is 3A. And it says, hurt but not down. Wozniak has already taken a few hits, but still he tries to get away as fast as he can. Immediately read 3. Wozniak in about 46-47. Immediately read 3. Well, we'll put that over here because I'm not sure. He doesn't have it. Okay. Immediately read 3. So there's 2B. So we're not going to read that. So we're going to immediately read 3. And it goes, return the Destiny card and all Destiny cards in play to the game box. Return all Destiny cards and all Destiny cards in the game to the game box. Okay. So these are all our Destiny cards. To the game box. Says place the card 43 and 45 into your discard pile. Okay. Okay. Place 45 to create the Destiny deck. 46, 47. Oh, I see. Okay. So we're going to put that objective there. So that's a wound token. It's 1 wound token. Okay. Replace the active mission, year 1, 3. And it says, do not reveal cards from the Destiny deck during the Destiny phase. If Wozniak in the swamp is defeated, discard the Destinies. If Wozniak is dead, immediately read 5. So I'm going to assume that this is the way it looks at this point. He's escaped because we destroyed the camp. We have that. He is in the swamp right now. He has 8, plus he already has 1 hit. So I'm going to play this as if this is what happened. That literally that the Destiny Rose goes. This is the boss fight. This is Wozniak. So we have to defeat him or die. I don't think we're going to last long because we have nothing out. We have to do 8 damage to him. We don't draw a Destiny card. Do not reveal cards from the Destiny during the Destiny phase. Okay. So, let us move on. That's the cleanup phase. We're not going to draw Destiny, which means we're going to go into it right into our preparation phase. We will draw 3 cards. We have our warrior, but we need a skull. We don't have a skull. Well, we could have a skull. So we're going to use our sprint. We're going to use our sprint to grab a resource, which means we're going to take these 2 resources, turn them into a skull. Or at least we have a skull to attack. Okay, I think what we're going to do, we have this ally. I can't really use him. But we could spend the resource. We'll take the resource. When we use that to peek, then we'll spend the resource to peek at the top card here, which I guess we'll look at here. We only have 3 injury cards left, so it's a shoulder injury. So there we go. We've peeked at the top card. That is the end of our turn. Wozniak is just going to shoot us. Bang! Oh, shoulder injury. Oh. Actually, what I should have done before we did that is I'm going to spend my skull to take up my last card. If we have going to do at least damage of 1. We have a skull. We do damage of 2 on him. So he has 3 out of the 5. Now, bang! Oh, shoulder wound. Oh my gosh. It is the top. It's the recovery phase. Well, there we go. That is the recovery phase. We are going to now shuffle our deck. We do not draw a destiny card according to the rules of the game. We have this big thick deck full of nice cards that I have not been able to play. And you can hear my dog behind me. That is Diamond. She's an Italian greyhound and is very noisy, especially when she's hungry. However, she has already been fed today. Now, we are really doing a good job here. 1, 2, 3 of shuffling. Let us see what we have. Maybe we can do some damage to this guy. We have no resources whatsoever. We have no ongoing event. So we'll take that as a resource. Wow, we're not even going to be able to get anything down. So what I'm going to do is spend that resource to pay this card to take another card. We have a diamond, which is a skull. Or I could take 3 more cards. That might be the way I want to go. So we're going to take that for resource. I actually can't use that card because I don't have enough. So I'm going to take it for a skull. There's the guy. That's the end of that. It is now the adventure phase, which we just did. We are going to shoot him first using our skull. Bang! Remember, he's got 5 more to kill. So let's pull over. Do we have a skull? Diamond. Yes, that's a skull. So we're going to do 2 more damage to this guy. And he jumped under his truck there. You can see he's got a little truck there. He's going to shoot me. Bang! Back. Oh, another shoulder injury, which is good because if I didn't recover that shoulder injury, this game would be over. Whew, we are into the recovery phase. There is no destiny phase. We are into my preparation phase. Oh, we're going very, very quickly here. We have a revolver that we can't afford to put down. But what we're going to do is we're going to take that. We need a skull. And then we can't trigger that. Well, I'm going to take a skull.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
And a skull. We are going to trigger a fight. That's base 1 plus nothing. So we're only going to do 1. He's got 6. We are back up to the top. He is actually going to fire at me. Oh, a head injury. What does that say? You cannot activate any ability allies cards with a head injury. But of course we get to the recovery phase. We're good. Bang. Really, this just churns that card. We have 6, so I don't know. We're down to the last card. 1, 2, 3. We don't have an ongoing effect, so we might as well take a resource there. We're going to use our skull to attack. We are at 6. Let's hope we have a 2. Only a 1. That's it. So base 1 plus that is 2. We have killed Wazak. We have got all 8 on him. And he dies. So what does it say to do? If Wazak's in the swamp is defeated, remove this card. Oh, play the Destiny card. Okay. And then if Wazak is dead, immediately read 5. Well, let's see what this says. Oh, wait a minute. If he's defeated? Let's read that. If Wazak in the swamp is defeated. Oh, no. Destiny. Is Wozniak is defeated, and we've defeated him. Oh, he wasn't dead. So we've actually have defeated him, and it says, okay, the Destiny says X times the number of skulls. If X is less than the number of injury cards you have in play, remove all wounds from Wozniak in the swamp, then shuffle this card into the Destiny deck. If X equals or greater than the number of injury cards you have in play, Wozniak is dead. Well, I have no injury cards. So I have no injury cards, which means he is dead. Now, it said to get rid of the destiny cards. So I'm going to have to go back through some of these rules because there's some confusion in my mind here. But Wozniak is dead because I don't have any... So, the crocodile attacks, but I don't have any injury cards, so Wozniak is dead. So we're going to go right to 5, which basically I think is winning the game. I have a lot of confusion around this at the moment, so not sure what's going on. I'm going to have to maybe reset this up and play through a couple of times to kind of get that idea of, because I'm sure that it said to remove the destiny cards and put them back in the box, and then it says shuffle it back into the destiny and go to 5 and go to 4, and I'm kind of a little confused. It could just be me, but for now we'll just go to 5, like the rule said, because Wozniak's dead. We killed him. Oh, there's a bunch more, so we're going to go to 5. And it says, you won. The slave traders will think long and hard before they try to set the operations here. Place spring into your deck. So we can place this card into a deck. And then A has to do with achievements. And probably some deck building. And then there's some loot. And we're not going to worry about that because in the rules, A has to do more with more advanced play. So we're probably at that point able to actually probably put cards into our deck, because there is a deck building aspect of this, and then there's loot cards. So all in all, that is the end of the game. I killed him, Wozniak, or Wozniak, whatever his name was. So I've killed the ultimate bad guy. I'm not sure how. There was some confusion on the rules, but let's go up to final thoughts and let's talk about it. So first I want to apologize for any dogs that you might have heard this morning. As I said earlier, I have a puppy that came in yesterday from one of our communities that we are helping the SPCA deal with. So there's been a midst of confusion and barking because puppies don't know the rules and there's other dogs around the house. So, it makes for a strange morning. All in all, my first thoughts. Component-wise, this game is fine. It's exactly what you would think for a card game. Easy to set up. It sets up in 5 minutes, except when you have to sort through the cards and put them back in the order, because that takes longer than actually setting up the game. The teardown's exactly the same, and then if you want to put the cards back in the order, of course, you're going to spend 5 or 10 minutes putting your cards back. So let's just say 15 minutes and 15 minutes on both sides, which isn't so bad. The play is quick. The play flows very nice. It has the phases work very quickly together, as you saw. It's not it is a fast game. The only problem I think I have at the moment with this particular, and I don't think it may not be all the adventures, just this particular adventure, and I haven't played all the adventures. This is the first one, though I did take 3 or 4 practice runs at it and got farther each time, but each time I would bump into a rule and went, damn, and then would start over again. So this was the 4th run through where we got that far. The only thing I'm not sure about is some of the rules where it said, put all the Destiny cards back in the box, and then shovel this back into the Destiny cards. I go, wait a minute here. So I am not sure exactly what that was all about. So we'll have to probably play this game a couple more times just to get the flow. This game is definitely going to be a keeper for me. I really enjoyed it. Rule problems are not something that's unusual to me, especially because of the type of learner I am. I am really a type of person who likes to watch lots of demonstrations. I did watch one video from Paul Grogan. Made sense. Now, he did play a different scenario. I did watch one stop co-op. Got halfway through and went, okay, I can handle this. He was playing this one. I may have to go back and actually watch that. I'm not sure whether, I think it was Colin or Mike that did that one. I may have to go actually back and watch that again to the finish to see exactly where I went wrong here. But that's just me. The rules are good. I mean, I had to look at the rules a couple times. The iconology to me was a little bit, what does this mean? And I had to check back because not all the symbols are here. Okay, resolve. Okay, this is... So it looks like reveal Destiny card and resolve. So you can hear the puppy under me. So some of them have that kind of both. So I don't know, do you reveal another Destiny card and resolve the Destiny card you're dealing with? That's how I played it. So there was that bit of confusion. But this is a sound game. I do like the system. I like Pulp Fiction. In fact, I told Mike McGill that I would love to see other, like the Green Hornet maybe, or the Shadow, from the 30s and 40s, from the radio era of heroes. But that is all I'm going to say. If you like what you saw today, please like, subscribe. Love to have you in the community. Notify me, put the notifications on, ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. I do hang around on a number of different sites. Solo Board Games, Solo Board Gamer, Board Games to Run, Board Game Revolution, Everything Board Games, the Board Game Group, and a bunch of other board game type stuff. So please reach out, say hi, leave some comments down below. See you next time.